I'm just going to do a quick video on Sprue glue, I call it. Sprue glue, as other people call it. It's basically liquid sprue filler. This video, I'm just going to show you how I make it and how I use it. And I know it's been out for years, people have used it for years, but there are people out there that don't know what it is. For quite some time, I didn't even know what it was. I only found out about, I'd say, about a year ago. But before that, I hadn't a clue what the stuff was. And even though I'd found out what it was a year ago, I hadn't used it, never used it. So, let's get on with the video and see what I do with stuff. Right, lads, what do you need? What do you need to make the sprue glue? Well, we start off, first of all, you need Tamiya Extra Thin. Okay? Now, usually when you get near to the end of your bottle of Tamiya Extra Thin, you end up with this stuff, which is Tamiya Extra Thin, but it's gone all dirty and, you know, from use. You know, you touch off a bit of paint or something on your kit and you end up with the dregs of it down the bottom of the bottle, and it's dirty and it's just, you don't want to go pouring it into your lovely clean bottle of Tamiya Extra Thin. So you say, oh, I'll leave that to the side. And what I used to do is I used to use it for bits that were already painted and things like that. But then I found out this great new use for the stuff. And what you do is you need your dirty bottle of Tamiya Extra Thin, right? You also need some sprue, hence the name Sprue glue, sprue goo, whatever that is, right? Just happen to have a bit of dragon sprue here, believe it or not. We've done with dragon sprue after doing videos on Tamiya and Zvezda. But I use the dragon sprue because I have it there, and it was left over from my my Panzer III kit. And as anybody who's done a dragon kit, you know you're going to end up with loads and loads and loads of spares and this, that and the other. But you've got loads of this stuff as well, sprue. So what you do is you chop it down like that. You make it into little pellets, shall we say. And it's as simple as this. You take it out and you drop in a fair few of the pellets into this. Oh, what have we got? Yeah, that will do. We'll just stick the rest of them in. Because it's very easy to remedy if you use too much of it, or sorry, if you've added too much sprue, just add some more glue. And if you haven't got enough sprue in there, just add some more sprue in there. Very easy to clean off items, very quick and easy to use. Alright, it does take a while to make though. It's not instantly made. Right, so you get your sprue, you stick it into your bottle. I find this handy at this stage. Just pop off this, just at this stage, but hold on to it because that comes in handy. Right? Whoa, give it a good shake, right? And then leave that overnight. Once you leave that overnight, you will end up with goo like this. Right? It's thick. Right? Watch it, it'll coat the inside of that quite easy. Right? We'll put a little bubble of it in here. I use this for putting it on. Right? So you get your brush, get a bit of your sprue glue. It's not behaving itself today. There we go. Yeah, a nice little dollop of it in there. Alright, get yourself a little dollop of it onto a piece of paper or whatever you have. I use these. I find them dead handy. I think you get about 500 or 600 of them for £1. They're Petit Four cases. Right? Now, for an applicator, I use this. Right? What this is basically a needle stuck into a bit of a matchstick, the long matchsticks. I just fiddle around with it. That's how it just looks kind of like that. There's no reason for anything back here. It's just when I'm bored and I'm playing around with things, I use that, right? Now, what do you use it for? If you look at this chap here, on his shoulders and all that, he's all filled in, okay? And he's now ready for painting. And it fills in the seams on the shoulders. Some figures you don't need it, some you definitely do. Now here's the other figure from that set. This is the Atelier Harley Davidson set. And if you look at the joints, where the arms are, and the waist, look at that for a big, you've got big horrible gaps like that, right? So, how do I fill the gaps like that? This is how. It's quite simple. It's quite straightforward. Whereas you'd normally use, say, your go-to filler, you can manipulate it around, fill down into the hole. And move it along. A deep hole like this, what I usually do is I'd give it 2 or 3 applications. I'll get a big blobble of the stuff and manipulate it along. Because it's liquid, it will flow into the gap, whatever gap you have. You do have to work pretty quick with it, because once it starts to set and go off, it will get stringy, you know. But don't worry about that too much, because you're going to be cleaning it off afterwards. It's quite very easy to clean off, but it's not an instant clean off. It's not an instant fix, but then I don't think there are any fillers out there that are instant fix fillers, right? Now once you have it like that, just give it a little blow. And what it does is it speeds up the setting process. Now, as you can see from that, that's starting to fill and set already. It's not set. Don't try to sand it or do anything to it at that stage or at this stage, right? But like I said, remember, it is liquid, so it'll flow into seams. You don't have to go, you know, rolling it into a little sausage and try and fill the armpit of your man and things like that. It'll flow down there in there for you, and you can manipulate it around very, very easy. Now I'm just going to do the back of this guy just for this video. I'll go back and I'll finish him off afterwards, because you don't want to see me spending 10 minutes just applying this stuff. You can get the gist from what I'm doing now. Right, and there we go. Ta-da, simple as that. And as you can see, give it a little blow. A blow or a hawing. And there you go. There he is, filled nice and neatly and very, very quick. If it needs a second application afterwards, just give it another little go. Any excess, it sends off, because when it hardens as styrene, and you just leave that, like I said, for a couple of hours, and then send it off. And when you send it off, after leaving it for a couple of hours, you have your nicely filled and jointed man. Now, this guy was the exact same as him, as in the gaps that were in his shoulders and the waist and stuff. And there you go. I use it for everything. I use it for filling gaps in armour. The people who make the wingy things, they use it for seams along the joins and wingy things where they don't seem to go together properly and stuff. It's brilliant. I stopped using any other type filler. To be quite honest with you, I've stopped using any other type filler. Excuse me, for little things. Big gaps, obviously you're not going to use that an ordinary filler in big gaps, but you don't use an ordinary filler in big gaps anyway. You'd fill it with a bit of plastic card and then fill around that if it's too big. But there's a quick and easy little video on sprue glue, how I do it, how I make it, and its uses. So, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit. Build it. Enjoy it. It's a hobby. It's there to be enjoyed. Catch up in the next one, lads. Stay safe and have a nice weekend.